Hello YouTubers, this is Travis, welcome back. It's Adventures in Forgotten Realms season, so we're off for another best of 3 draft. Now before I ever start drafting a format, I'll do a set review and I'll kind of evaluate what cards I think are going to be good, what cards I think are going to be bad. And it's really important to kind of reevaluate the cards once the set is live and you get an opportunity to play with and against these cards. Today, I'm going to reevaluate one of those cards and you'll see how that works out. If you like the content here, please subscribe to get more Magic faster and consider checking out the stream. It's live at twitch.tv/Semulin. Enjoy the draft. What's in the pack? It's a pretty good pack. I think I could make a case for Zalto, Displacer Beast, and maybe even the Owl Bear if you're like a super green fanatic. 7/3 trample for 5 is really good stats, but plate armor is really good too. I could even see the Merchant. Fair point, Goose. We had a draft earlier today where we got Asmodeus and the Merchant, which was kind of cool. The problem is the ground gets really stalled. I think, man, it's Merchant or Plate Armor. Plate Armor just makes everything big, 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 and threat, threat, threat. Man, I could go for any of these, honestly, including the rare. Well, if one's good, why wouldn't we take 2? There's no removal to compete with it. We've got us a second. Let's do the thing. Alright, I have not had success with Warlock class. I've had a lot of success with Spoils of the Hunt. It's particularly good when splashed. But let me make sure I can understand this. I need to be incredibly aggressive, right? Well, sort of. So what I want to do with this is make sure that they're taking damage on my turn, aka attacking. Cycle, sure. And then just smush them. Well, it replaces itself for 3 mana. It's sort of like your creatures get +1/+0 if they're unblocked. No, if you killed something, something dies. I'm not taking that. Yeah, or feed tokens to the Merchant, but I guess we could maybe do that if we got a lot of... You know what? What the heck? Let's learn. Let's learn. I don't think the deck that I can pull this off with is actually ever going to be open. But I can respect adventuring a little bit. The rally maneuver I typically like. I also like Green Dragon. Is Green Dragon the worst dragon? Certainly not. I like it if we could play it early. Stompy, thank you for the resub. I also feel like Rally Maneuver is just underrated. Ah, God. Yep, it is. It's the right call. I don't like playing black-white, and there's no guarantee we're playing black-white. But like, if we're following the signals so far, I think that may be what we're supposed to be doing. There's the option to get off that train and take this Windseer, which is really good. I don't know that this deck can take advantage of the Warlock class, but I don't have to play it. Most of my complaints about black-white end when I can get card advantage, and I can get a little bit from these Merchants. Well, not now. Planar Ally. Planar Ally is really good. But like, this is the 5th green dragon we've seen. I'm willing to believe that we could play green. It's a really good 2-drop, but Thieves' Tools opens up a lot of directions for us, including blue-black, which I like quite a bit. This is an interesting start to a draft because I don't actually know what we're doing yet. Yeah, I'm going to fiddle around with different colors until something opens up. Boop! Something opened up. Blue. I really like Soul Knife Spy with Thieves' Tools. It's great. But the first Charmed Sleep is more important, I think. So probably not green. That seems late. I think I'm doing this, but I could still potentially be moved. Interesting that nobody wanted to go in on this. I could sort of see doing that still. It's incredibly late to be getting into it, and I didn't see a lot of red. I think blue-red is open. I don't think red actually is. Pixie God's fine. So I think we're going to blue-black. But I like picking up the wilds. With the wilds and the 2 merchants, I can splash whatever the hell I want to. I don't think I'm looking at a Warlock class stack, though. And I wish I had that 3/3 flyer over the rally maneuver, but I guess people have decided rally maneuver's bad. And I shouldn't get any white this direction. Like, somebody took that armor and got excited to boot it. Probably shouldn't get any red either. Somebody took that Zalto and got excited to boot it. So that kind of does sort of force us into blue-black, at least for this pack. Which is not bad. I like blue-black. Our last deck ran the enigmatic Herpaderp. And it was not great. I guess we could take a precipitous drop. Unless we want to think about playing other colors. I think I may want the Priest of Ancient Lore. There's a possibility we're supposed to go blue-white. And this thing is just incredibly replaceable. Whereas this isn't. It's really good. I don't know what we're doing yet. I can't slam the Apprentice. Because what if we got past a white dragon? Would we want to play that? I'd probably want to play that. Because right now it's looking like blue-white is open, and colors that aren't blue-white aren't. Taking the dragon here is a commitment to white, which is a little rough. Hannah over dragon? No, I've played enough blue-white to know I don't particularly want Hama, and 2, we're wheeling it. There's infinite Hamas. Alright, I think this is actually where I'm supposed to be. Get in your slot! Rally maneuver ain't gonna be great here. That's worth at least being aware of. Emma is okay? She is very okay. She's very okay. I'd much rather have this elemental. Emma's selling a dream that never really comes together. And it makes me sad. Scion is quite nice. The Rhymefield Frost Giant is a pretty good blocker, but I've kind of got the Shortcut Seeker to fill that role currently. And I need to fill in this area. I have played Half-Elf Monk to some success. Green-white is randomly open this way. I don't want this to be my 2-drop, but it may need to be. Okay, I made a mistake taking the air elemental. I can live with that. We could probably make use of a Trickster's Talisman. I've got enough flyers that I think I can do that. Engineer's a fine pickup. Okay. I don't know that I want to, but I might. Yeah, Shocking Grasp is certainly playable. If those Hemmas don't wheel, we've got more blue-white drafters at the table, which is bad news, but I'm probably too deep to get out of it. Unless, like, black is incredibly open in the next pack. Because we still don't really have a huge reason to be playing white. We just have some white cards. We don't really have a huge reason to be playing anything. We haven't really seen amazing cards. But as suspected, Hemma wheeled. And she can kind of do something. Most of that's be a 2-3. But that's okay. Yeah, I kind of don't want to, but... Yeah, she will too. We could tell green-white was open this way, but it was a little too late for us to get in on that. I guess I do need the curve filling. But, like, we're not actually venturing that much, right? Like, how are we getting in the dungeon? Basically just if the planar ally can attack. Would Hemma be better or worse if she was a 1-4 or a 3-2? Oh god, don't make me play this. Yeah, they get you one pip. That's not enough. Like, we don't have a way to, like, repeatably adventure in the dungeon. Which is making Hemma just a 2-3. I've seen 0 red. That's what I was getting at. I think she'd be better as a 1-4. Splash Mythic. Really difficult to splash double red. Because there's no treasure support in these colors. Like, if we're splashing it, we're just making the devil's mana base and crossing our fingers. I don't think that's realistic. I think the best card for me is the Scion. I don't love that. But I can't do anything with it. This I can splash. That's a single pip. It's a lot easier to do. We should have been green, eh? Blue-white seemed to be open, but blue and white were certainly not open. Oh, she's great. She's great. If that had been pack 2, I'd have forced it. But it's not pack 2, and I can't force it. Now I'm starting to wonder why we're playing these white cards. I don't know. Is drawing like 5 cards out of your graveyard pretty good? Yeah, I'm really starting to wonder why we're playing these white cards. How far off am I from making this a deck? Not that far off. Yeah, I know, that's the pick. I'm trying to think here. Because I think I can actually do something with this. I think I like the zombie ogre here. There's a deck beginning to come together. And I think it's a deck that's going to play all of these. That's really, really weird. I may need the hard removal of the pit trap. We don't have card advantage, do we? Other than this, I may have to play this Insight. I don't love this card either, but I've played it before. And Herald. Herald will save us. I can work with this. So the thing about Long Rest, like, people act like expensive cards are just unplayable, right? I've won a lot of drafts with Long Rest. So yes, it's a card that you're going to spend somewhere between 4 and 6 mana, right? To get some sort of effect. But I recognize that I kind of criminally undervalued Regrowth when it was in Strixhaven. It's like a demonic tutor. So the worst case scenario, I suppose the worst case scenario for Long Rest is you can't cast it, but it can be a 4 mana Regrowth. At 2 mana, it's a double Regrowth. And there's plenty of times you could spend 5 mana to draw 2 cards and be relatively happy. Like, I'm probably going to spend six mana to draw 2 cards some amount of time with the Sudden Insight. And that kind of sucks. But what you gonna do? So it's not something that, like, you just slam immediately. You trade resources. If you have that in your deck, you're going to be aggressive about blocking. You're going to be aggressive about trying to get your opponent to trade stuff. So that late in the game, where they're drawing 2/2s and lands, you're like, hey, I'll just draw my 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 drop. And make you deal with it all over again. We're going to have to play some cards I don't love. I think my creature count's high enough that I can play 2 of these talismans. And they're pretty good if I can sneak through the Seekers, which I can do. And of course the dream is to put it on the Air Cult Elemental. But this deck doesn't look wonderful, but I mean, not every deck you're going to draft looks great, eh? It's got a bit of a plan, which is kill you with unblockable pings. It would sure love another Air Cult Elemental. I don't think I want the Warlock class. Sell me on Warlock class for this deck. I suppose if all I'm ever going to do is draw 2 cards with a Sudden Insight, I could play it over that. That's not good enough. I needed to do something else. Because my removal isn't killing things. We're not getting extra... I'm not ignoring it. I'm trying to figure out why this deck would want it. Right? My removal spells don't trigger it. I'm not attacking for that much damage. It doubles the damage from Thieves' Tools? Sort of. You know what? Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. We've got the class, we may as well try it. It's not going to hurt me to try it. We were in the same draft. I think it ended up okay. The deck doesn't look wonderful, but it looks playable. I'll take that. Yeah, I've certainly drafted worse. All right, let's take this out for a spin. I can work with this. Did ya? Did ya? I have to take the hit, I think. Because I may need to kill both of these. I probably do need to kill both of these. Need another block. Thank you. We'll get classy here in a minute. That could be very bad for us. We're gonna need a better class from you, Harold. Is he teaching the class or attending the class? What do you think? Harold looks like he might be teaching the class. Harold is certainly teaching this class. Harold is summoning some sort of giant octopus monster through that portal. He's definitely teaching. That's pretty cool. I want to do that. I'm not quite sure why I didn't attack with Harold. I think I just respect him too much. Dr. Harold? Professor Harold? Maybe Harold's the assistant, the teacher's assistant, and Asmodeus is the professor. I think Harold's more of a TA. Sure. I like this blog. It's a great blog. You should do that one. All right, Warlock class did its job. Is mana sink. Man, I got like nothing that can kill this, right? I've got power word kill and that's it. Which is tough, yo, because it's good. But yeah, I guess Pit Trap can do it too. You'd think if she could fly, she wouldn't fall into a pit trap. I don't understand that part. Like, how do flyers get caught in a pit trap? I know we talked about maybe they're stopping to drink and the pit trap is like in the water or something, but Stidja. Air pits? Yeah, how do? The worst Warlock class is an overcosted Anticipate at sorcery speed. Yes. That do sound like what it be. Hey, you got me. I'll tap that. And hope it sticks, but it doesn't. RNG, baby! Don't kill my griddle. I just got it. I'd like to keep it. So you want to keep that card, eh? Guess they need land, which is neat because I do too. Semulin needs land badly, so the one card that can kill what they have. We gotta take the lands. Yeah, it's possible they knew I could wood mill. Please use they if you don't mind. But I think with them stuck on 4, it's possible that they actually need the lands. Take our hit first. No worries, Vice. Oh, I needed that! That was my whole plan. How dare you? This pleases the Travis. You can tap it all you want to. How much is this? 7? That's awkward. Like, do we draw the card off the treasure token or what? I mean, obviously I'm going to draw a card. I'm not a monster, but... I might be changing my mind about this Warlock class. Maybe it's not all just Eldritch Blast spam. I don't know that I want another Scion of Stygia right now, but I do want them to take extra damage. This is 3 or less, right? Yeah. It's a lot better than I figured. I assumed it was unplayable. But I've lost to it before and it's starting to do some work here. Makes me wonder if there ain't something you can do with Sorcerer class, but I just hadn't figured it out yet. Because these looked about the same to me, and this one's just way overperforming my expectations. And it has when my opponents have cast it too. If it's good when I have it and good when the other people have it, it's probably just good. That's how you can tell. Yes, I am familiar with Eldritch Blast spam. I used to DM a campaign set on Em and Ket, and it was kind of fun. Yes, it is now. It was not before, but now it is. Especially since I can't really use the 2 talismans. Oh, good lord. We need a body. I didn't know they had a meteor swarm. But Dr. Harold is here to make everything better. I think I'd like to not die to some random nonsense. Because Harold ain't quite gonna kill him, but he's close. He must be chomped now. If they can kill him, they'll do it now, because they shouldn't let me get that drain off. If they can't kill him, I can pretty comfortably put the talisman on him, which doesn't really do anything. It already has to be blocked. Yeah, I can drain and play this dude. That's better. Well, we get 4 from this plus 1 from the ping, doubled, is 6. So yeah, they're just dead. You got me. Oh! They did get me. They haven't been paying attention in Warlock class. Not how this is supposed to work. I sure hope they do. I'm probably dead to another Scion of Stygia. That's what I get for looking for shortcuts. I have to log now. Now they're dead. I guess they could bounce it? Or not. Well, when we got the second one, it makes it look stupid, right? But assuming I didn't draw the second one, keeping it on there, this was 2 damage per turn while I was getting through stuff unblocked. The only option I had to use it, I had a board of 3 creatures, a talisman, and an empty hand. I'm not using it there. It's just way better as +1/+1. Now, if we had a time machine, we could go back and say, dude, you should have used it there because you're going to draw the other one. But I also think if you have a time machine, there's way better things you could do than go back and give yourself tips about Magic. So. I may have, John. It was my first time trying to edit a video, which is good news. It just means the future videos will be better. But I bet I did, because I haven't used Camtasia in like 6 years. And I'm also using like Camtasia 1995 or something. But like I said, we'll get a Patreon going. We'll make the big bucks. I can do good YouTube videos, higher streaming quality. Very good quality. It's going to be great. So when you go in, Eichter, there's actually a button you can click to unlock different play modes, because Best of 3 does not show up by default. Which is bizarre to me, but it's near the top right of your screen. I have no idea why they have Best of 3 gated like that, but it explains why so many people are playing Best of 1 Draft, because you have to go snoop around to be able to find the good stuff. Like this secret club you get invited to. Somebody needs lands, eh? I was hoping it was going to be a land. I was going to be so happy. Lame. Not often you do that with your air elemental, but sometimes somebody stole your McGriddle and you need it back. I probably should have bottomed that Scion. Okay, I thought they had 5 damage. They clearly do not. Unless they make a treasure token, in which case they do, but that's okay. The Talisman Del Trickster. Okay, yeah, they got it. But it's okay. Because it won't kill him. Oh! We've seen us in one of them guards. Okay, you can see a guard. Yeah, because I just want to draw a land here. I certainly should have bottomed that. That seems like an okay turn to me. Hey, I told you guys I've changed my mind on some cards. Fixture's Talisman be one of them, yo. Kind of tells you how good Sailor of Memes was when you're happy to have one. I mean, yeah, the activated ability is great, but this deck would have just played Sailor of Memes. This feels pretty busted. That's not enough insight. It was sudden, but not insightful enough. And they don't even know about my Scions of Stygia. Can't venture at instant speed. Well, you can, but not with the hawk. So their deck basically wins if they can get ahead on cards via the Soul Knife Spy. That's it. If they can't do that, they're losing. So I need to make sure they can't, which means I want a secret door. I mean, saying that I want a secret door is probably not accurate, but I need a secret door. It's going to be way better against that crap than a pit trap, because I can just charm sleep the big stuff. Secret tunnel! And the counter spell, but yeah. Well, it sucks. It's a great hand. I mean, except for not being able to play any of the cards in it. Scions of Stygia. Stygia. They're going to bar the gate this one, and I don't care. They going on a dungeon run, my dudes. They also topped a card, so I kind of want to get rid of it. I could probably use a Shocking Grasp at some point. They wanted their little thief. Acceptable. You gonna block it? Professor Harold is here. Can't really block Professor Harold. You got a limited amount of time, my friend. That's not gonna do it. They're gonna need to hit 2 cards under 4 mana that do something here. And even then, they're in a world of hurt. The unicorn, it does nothing. The shocking grasp, it does nothing. Well, it might get him in for 2 points of damage, I guess. Bye-bye. All that while they were hexproof. Best case scenario I've seen for that hexproof dude is I had one and my opponent had a Xanatar and it was just a 5/6 and it sat there and stared at me angrily. The 2/1 isn't like unplayable, it's just not good. But it's hard to argue for like a piker. It does what you want 2 drops to do. You need to block some crap, it'll do that. For some reason, Xanatar is targeted. I guess for commander purposes. That's alright. It needs black though, doesn't it? But I mean, we put swamps in the deck with the idea that we would draw them. Is this supposed to be more Tybalt stuff? I guess it can't be. Is that like an item in D&D? I've never heard of it. Well, I guess we're putting a burb to sleep. This is tempo. And that's a worm. It's a sleepy worm. But it's a worm. I mean, sometimes worms need naps too, you know? Why are their sleeves sharpening knives at me? I could sort of see Secret Door doing a tidbit of work here. Because they should have aggressive crap too. But I kind of want to see more before I make a decision like that, because the card's really bad. We got a bit lucky to kind of draw exactly what we needed. But I mean, that's why we put the cards in the deck. Their Beholder is still farting in the background if you listen closely. Yeah, I think we just run it back. Hey, I guess we sideboarded properly. Can I get a paid actor in chat, please? It's kind of interesting. This is our last draft of the day. We've had decks that I thought looked a lot better than this one. And here we are. This was the one that got the 3-0. Well, we had a couple of 3-0s today, but I'll take it. I always forget to look at the deck first. But go figure. That one worked out. That one worked out.